Good morning, students. I am Sanjeev Patnaik of Rajkamal Saraswati Vidya Mandir, Dhanbad. Today, I am going to teach you economics of class 12th. The paper economics in class 12th contains three parts. Part A, introductory macroeconomics. This bears 40 marks. Part B, Indian economic development. This also bears 40 marks. And part C, project work, and this bears 20 marks. So total is 100 marks, and from this 100 marks you are going to have your theory paper or the questions of 40 marks from macroeconomics and 40 marks from Indian economic development, and the rest 20 marks will be evaluated from your project work. So let me start your first chapter from macroeconomics, that is introduction. In this class, we are not going to read the definitions of economics. Rather, we are going to read the different aspect of studying economics. In order to study economics in a better way, it has been divided into two broad categories. One is microeconomics and second one is your macroeconomics. It is supposed that the term micro and macro, M-I-C-R-O macro, micro and M-A-C-R-O micro have their origin from Greek terms M-I-K-R-O-S micros, it means small, and M-A-K-R-O-S macros, it means large. The term micro, M-I-C-R-O micro, this is an English term, English word, and M-A-C-R-O macro, this is also an English word. Both have their origin from Greek terms like M-I-K-R-O-S means small and M-A-K-R-O-S macros means large. And these terms were coined by Professor Ragnar Frisch of Oslo University, Norway. These terms were coined by Professor Ragnar Frisch of Oslo University, Norway. Again, we are going to read the difference between micro and macroeconomics. So, the first difference between micro and macro, how to remember the difference, first difference between micro and macro. So, let's see in term micro and in macro there is one difference only in the spelling. This is M-I-C-R-O, this M-A-C-R-O. So, I stands for individual and A stands for aggregate. In this way, we can write the difference. First one is microeconomics is the branch of economics which deals with individual economic unit of an economy. It means the scarcity, the distribution of income, etc. at individual level are discussed or studied under microeconomics, whereas in macroeconomics the problem of scarcity or allocation of resources, etc. are studied as a whole. Microeconomic theory assumes macroeconomic variable as fixed. As we know, there are certain variables in both microeconomic theory and macroeconomic theory. So, while studying microeconomic theory or microeconomics, we must assume the macroeconomic variables as fixed. And while studying macroeconomic theory or macroeconomics, we must assume microeconomic variables as fixed. Now, the third one is microeconomic theory is also known as theory of pricing. Microeconomic theory is also known as theory of pricing. Theory of pricing means in this theory the price of a commodity, the wages of labor means price of a worker, etc. are steady. This is why it is known as theory of pricing. And in macroeconomics, the income level, the output or the employment of an economy are studied. Therefore, macroeconomics or macroeconomic theory is also known as the theory of income, output and employment. Now the fourth one, macroeconomic theory or a microeconomic theory or microeconomics is described as partial equilibrium analysis. Remember, microeconomics is described as partial equilibrium analysis, whereas macroeconomics or macroeconomic theory is described as general equilibrium analysis. Partial equilibrium means there is equilibrium in any one market only, whereas other market are in a state of disequilibrium. Whereas in general equilibrium analysis or general equilibrium means there is simultaneous equilibrium in all the markets in the economy. So this is the basic difference between partial equilibrium and general equilibrium. Now what are the examples of microeconomic theory or microeconomics and macroeconomics? Microeconomics theory, the examples are income of an individual firm or individual person, price of a commodity, individual demand of a consumer or individual supply of a seller. Whereas the examples of macroeconomics are national income or general price level of an economy, general price level of commodities in economy, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, etc. Now the last one is, what do you mean by micro macro paradox? Micro macro paradox. The word paradox means contradiction. Contradiction means opposing to each other. It means what is logical at the micro level may not be logical at the macro level. Micro macro paradox means the things which are logical at micro level may not be logical at the macro level, or the things which are logical at macro level may not be logical at micro level. So in order to understand this concept micro macro paradox, let us give an example. My dear students, do you think saving is a good habit? Do your parents save money? Obviously yes. They must be saving money for their future, and it is a good habit also. Now just think, if each and every individual of an economy will save money means they will not spend on goods and services, then what would happen to the investment of the economy? If people save, they will not spend their money on the purchase of goods and services. As a result, the investment of the economy will also hamper. And if the investment of the economy will hamper, then automatically there will be fall in the income, and if the income of the economy falls, then the individual income will also fall. There will be unemployment, and if there will be unemployment or fall in the income level, then there will also be fall in the saving. So if we understand this example carefully, then saving is a good habit at micro level, but it is bad or evil at macro level. Thank you very much.